Hey, what's up, everybody? DFS Rico coming at you with my picks and insight for this NBA two-game slate on Tuesday, December 22nd. We do have the first slate of the season, so I'm super excited. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are excited as well if you're here watching these videos. Um, but before I get started, if you can like, comment, subscribe, I really do appreciate it. Hopefully you do. I will be having timestamps on these videos, so game by game, if you just look at the timestamps, you will be able to bounce back game by game. I will try game by game, and then I'll see if I do position by position um, on some other videos and see just what works out better for me. And as far as time as well, I don't want to be dragging on these videos too long. But for this one, since it's only two games, I will just go game by game, talk about a couple injuries from each game that I noticed, and then we'll go from there. But let's get to it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. First game of the day, we do have Golden State versus Brooklyn at 5 p.m. And one thing you want to really be careful with is basketball. You really want to know the starting lineups. You want to be there. You want to be aware of who's going to start once starting lineups get announced. As of now, we don't know starting lineups for either of the games. I like to use roto grinders. Just go to their lineups. Once the lineups get announced, these usually get updated. They'll be in green, or they'll just change colors. But they will get updated as right now, like they have their projected lineups. You got Curry, Wiggins, Oubre, Pascal, and Looney. Then you got Irving, Harris, LeVert, Durant, and DeAndre Jordan. The only injury that I'm aware of is Draymond Green. So that's where Pascal comes into play, and a lot of people will be playing him, me myself included. But these are the starting lineups projected, so just be aware that they think they can change. These are all projected. You never know what's going to happen. So something I put out now can drastically change in the future. So just keep an eye out on that. This is like a really raw video where you're just super early on. You never know what's going to happen. I will probably open up. I do have a Discord that I probably will open up again. Probably put it in the comment section if you guys just want to jump in there. You guys will be able to, if I see like news or if you guys want to talk with some other people about changes or just ideas for the slate, go ahead and join. It's free. Just get in there, join, and everything will be good. But yeah, let's get back to the game. So we got Golden State, we got Brooklyn. Pretty good game. Obviously, you got Durant versus Curry, so it should be pretty interesting. Revenge narrative, I guess, but we'll see. If you're into that kind of stuff, I'm not really into it. But like I said, Draymond Green's really the only guy we're really worrying about on this slate. There's nobody else I'm really too. Draymond. The fact that Draymond is out bumps up Pascal a lot. Whoever starts in his position, which everyone is assuming it's going to be Pascal at 3.8, is a really good play. But we got Durant at 9.8. He's pretty pricey compared to guys like Curry and Irving, so I do think Durant is going to be more so GPP play. I feel like a lot of people will be playing Curry. A lot of people will be playing Irving. Irving will be the highest one owned in this game. As far as like the studs, obviously you're going to have a couple studs in your lineups. The way I'm going to be building my lineup is going to be a lot of couple studs and then a couple really cheap guys, because you can do that. You don't have to use all your salary today, or you can use all your salary. There's a lot of ways you can go in a two-gamer, believe it or not. You don't have to follow the crowd, but we'll see. Like I said, Durant's the highest guy in the game, 9.8. Pretty interesting. He's pricey. He's really pricey. I think he's the second priciest guy on the slate behind Anthony Davis. But then you got Curry, 9.3. I do like him a lot. Then you got Irving. Then you got Wiggins at 7K, which will be interesting. Obviously, he is going to be playing with Curry. I'm very interested in Curry just because I think his assist ratio his assist percentage will bump up just because of the fact that he is playing with other guys that can score as well, like Wiggins, Oubre. I mean, depending who starts at center, if Wiseman's down, it's gonna be really interesting. He's gonna have a lot of opportunity to get a ton of assists. Obviously, we know he can put up a ton of points, but he is gonna have opportunity to put up a ton of assists as well. At least I think so. And I think for them to stay close in this game, Curry's gonna have a really good game. Wiggins at 7K is quite interesting. Oubre at 6.7. You got LeVert at 6.5. I'd probably rather play Wiggins and Oubre over LeVert just because we really don't know who the second scoring option is going to be in Golden State. But we do know who it's going to be in Brooklyn. I mean, Durant and Irving are going to get theirs, and everyone else is going to trickle along. LeVert, Dinwiddie are going to be like the third options. Wiggins and Oubre are going to be fighting for like the second option, in my opinion. Then you got Allen and Jordan. We don't know who's going to start at center. Jared Allen and DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre Jordan, I think, started every preseason game, so take that for what it's worth. So he is a little cheaper, so I think if you want to go that way just to save the salary, I don't think he's a bad play. Golden State doesn't really have a really good center, honestly. They're going to have either a rookie center or Looney, and that's not really nothing to be too worried about, but the same way, vice versa. Brooklyn's never really been good against centers, even going back the last 2 years, as I remember, I'm always playing centers against Brooklyn. As you can tell, I mean, they're ranked 23rd last season. But you got Looney, you got Wiseman. We don't know who's going to start, so keep an eye out on that. If Wiseman starts, I think I might be interested in him. Off the bench, not as much, but if he starts, I'll be pretty heavily interested in him. You got Joe Harris at 4.8. I do like him as a value play for Brooklyn. I don't think he gets affected as much as like guys like LeVert and Dinwiddie with Kyrie and Durant on the court, just because he's not really a guy that needs the ball in his hand to put up points. He's really just going to get you rebounds. He's going to get you points. He's going to get you three-pointers. He's going to take a ton of threes. He's kind of just a guy that's going to fill in, and he doesn't need the ball in his hand to score at least. Like, he just catches and shoots. He's there at the right time kind of guy. With guys like Dinwiddie and LeVert, we saw they're high usage guys, and their usage is going to come down, so their prices will also come down, but it'll just be harder for them to get their opportunity. At least I believe so. I mean, I could be wrong for all I know, but it's first games of the season. We'll have to see how it plays out. No one else down here I'm really too interested in from the Brooklyn side. I feel like from Brooklyn I'm pretty concentrated on guys like Durant, Irving, the centers, and Joe Harris. Maybe the cheapest guy I go for Brooklyn that I like. I would probably be Taurean Prince at 3.9. Not a bad play. I think he's a fine play, but we'll see. From this game alone, as of right now, if I'm going to be plugging in guys, I do really like Curry. And I do really like Pascal at 3.8. 3.8 Pascal is going to be probably everybody's favorite value play, so make sure you do have him in your lineup, especially in cash. GPP, if you can find a different way to go, because if he does throw up a dud, then you will be in a good position because he will have a ton of ownership in a 2-game slate. But I do like Curry. I do like Pascal a lot. These are two guys I'm really going to be starting my lineups with. Obviously, you can't go bad putting Kyrie Irving in there or any of these guys up here. Kyrie will probably be one of the highest owned guys. I think he's going to be the highest owned guy. Him and LeBron probably, and Pascal. So just be wary of that. I am choosing to go Curry's way, but you can probably play them both. I think I was messing with some lineups where I was able to fit them both. But if you only want to pick one, Irving is going to be the more popular one. Curry's going to be the least popular one. So take that for what it's worth. Obviously, a lot of these other guys are good plays as well. I mean, like I said, you're going to need value. You're going to have to play guys like Harris. You're going to have to play guys, whoever starts, which I'm assuming is Pascal. I mean, you got a couple guys, Prince, Damian Lee could get some run. It's the first game of the season, guys, so don't go too heavy is one thing I would mention. Next game, you got the Clippers, and you got the Lakers. You got Anthony Davis up top, 10K, which is the priciest guy on the slate. You got LeBron James, which is the third priciest guy on the slate. And then obviously he's followed by Curry. I am very interested in LeBron James, but so is everybody else. He is going to be very popular at 9.6. Even if you assume he's going to get like less run because they're going to load manage him or something, let's say they only give him 33, 34 minutes, less minutes than he's used to getting. I still think he's a fine play just because he's LeBron James and he's going to fill up the stat sheet. First game of the season, I feel like he's going to want to do something against the Clippers, especially since people think, it was kind of a fluke or, the bubble all last year. The Clippers would have beat them if they played them. You hear a lot of things, but didn't happen. So LeBron's going to be out there. I feel like he's going to want to make a point that they're the champions type thing. If you like those kind of narratives, obviously. You got Kawhi at 9.1, one of the lower-owned guys. First far studs. I think, like, if you want to be different, you're going to play guys like Anthony Davis, you're going to play Kawhi, and you're going to play Durant. Those are the three studs you're going to be that are going to be different. If you want to follow the crowd, you're really going to follow Curry, James, and Kyrie, which is kind of the way I'm leaning. I just like them. I like their price tags. I like what they can do. I like what they bring to the table. I'm just very interested in those guys. As of right now, obviously things could change with injuries or, they mentioned minutes or anything like that. Things can change, so just keep an eye out on that. Scrolling down, you got Schroeder at 5.8. Paul George at 7.8. Not too interested in him. Paul George at 5.8. Kyle Kuzma. Schroeder and Kuzma are two guys I'm interested in. They do mention some kind of limit restrictions on Davis and James. Those are probably the two guys I would look at first because I do think they're going to get run, and they would just get extended run if those two guys are limited to any kind of minutes. Obviously, I'm just talking. I haven't heard anything about them being limited, but if you do think for some reason, with obviously they just got out the bubble, they've been out playing more recent than any other team in the NBA, them in the Heat. So obviously they could come out and play them less for all we know, but we don't know. But that's the beautiful thing about basketball. You never know what's going to happen. Lou Williams, 5.4. He's probably my favorite out of any of the Clippers. At 5.4 is not a bad price tag. He has huge upside. I feel like they're going to need to put up points versus the Lakers, but the Lakers are a good defensive team. They showed it in the bubble last year. Should be interesting. And then you got Montrezl Harrell with the revenge game at 5.3. I don't know how much I'm interested in him, but could be interesting if he does start. But I am assuming Serge Ibaka's starting, and he's the guy that I actually like more than Harrell just because he does a little more. He can put up three-pointers, which is something that Harrell doesn't do, and I feel like he's going to get way more run than Harrell because Harrell might split minutes with Davis at the center and Marc Gasol at the center. So Ibaka does have Zubac, but I think Ibaka starts, and I think he plays more minutes than he was getting out there in Toronto. So I think he just gets more run. He was getting those 20 minutes a game, 24, and when he was getting a ton of minutes, he was super fantastic on the court. So just keep an eye out on that. Then you got your really cheap value guys. Obviously, Morris is out, so that's an interesting thing. We're going to have to keep an eye out on who starts. In my opinion, it's going to be Patterson. Well, to me, it's between Patterson, Nicholas Batum, and Luke Kennard. And depending, let's see what Roto Grinders thinks. Looks like Batum. They have Batum starting, but I don't know if they would do something crazy to bump down Kawhi, George, and put Kennard in there. But either way, I think Kennard gets a little more run just because of the fact that Morris is out, which means more shot opportunities, for a guy like Williams, guys like Kawhi, guys like Paul George. So that will be interesting as well. So keep an eye out on that. Projected starters, it looks like KCP's projected to start and Marc Gasol, so that's who they're thinking, but we'll see. First game of the season, like I said. They might even rotate depending on the matchups for Harrell and Gasol. But obviously, Reggie Jackson, I'd rather just play Beverly since he is probably going to start at 4.4. Not really a fan of Morris. Patterson, like I said, whoever starts for Marcus Morris will be interesting. So, you might want to play them at a nice value play if they start, but I feel like even the guys off the bench might have decent run. They might split their minutes in some weird way between. I don't see Batum going out there and playing 34 minutes. I really don't. I just don't see that happening. But we'll see. Obviously, like I said, you got KCP down here at 4.2, Wesley Matthews, Luke Kennard, Talon Horton-Tucker, which was having a really good preseason. I don't know how much that will translate over to the regular season, but I think that's really the lowest I'm going. Like THT, Kennard, Matthews, and Caruso are kind of value plays, depending on how much run you think they're going to get. It's really just going to be dependent on that. I'd rather just stick with the guys that I know are going to start, so especially once starting lineups come out. I'll probably be way more interested in those guys than I will on the guys coming off the bench because obviously we don't know what the rotation is going to look like. So just be a little safer for the first slate. I do like Curry. I like Pascal. I like Ibaka. And then LeBron James is the main guy I'm really going to focus around. That's going to be my core four right there. You got Curry, you got LeBron, you got Pascal, and you got Serge Ibaka. Those are going to be my favorite four plays. So just, if you like them, if they do you good, hopefully you can like, comment, subscribe. I do really appreciate it, and go ahead and join the Discord and the group chat in the comment section, and let me know what you guys think. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.